Hello, I'm Lance Zimmerman with the CattleFax Closing Bell. U.S. pasture conditions have improved in most regions, leading to lower beef cow slaughter in 2012. Herd expansion still seems likely later this year, but it's encouraging that industry contraction has slowed in the first quarter. Year-to-date beef cow slaughter is currently down 4%, or more than 37,000 head. The last 3 years of record-high beef cow herd contraction has been avoided this spring, and the last 8 weeks of slaughter have been at or near 5-year lows. However, the threat of further herd contraction still exists. Extreme drought continues in West Texas, eastern New Mexico, and the extreme southeast, mostly in Georgia and Florida. Areas throughout the Southwest are also experiencing moderate drought conditions. Drier conditions last fall have likely kept herd expansion indicators in check through the first quarter of 2012. Heifers currently make up 38.7% of USDA-fed cattle slaughter year-to-date. This is mostly steady with the same period in 2011 at 39.2% and the 5-year average at 38.5%. Cattle-Fax heifer placement data through the first quarter is also higher at 36.5% compared to last year at 34.6% and the 5-year average of 35%. The industry will focus more on these herd expansion indicators in the fourth quarter. Calf prices are expected to be supportive to herd expansion with 2012 average values near the higher end of the historical price range. Therefore, cow-calf producers will be looking for better pasture conditions and hay supplies in 2012 to support additional cows going into 2013. Fed cattle prices were steady to as much as $2 higher this week. Trade volumes were light to moderate depending on the region. Most live cattle in the South traded at $122 per hundredweight, while sales in the North were $1 to $2 higher at $124 to $125 live and $196 to $200 per hundredweight on a dressed basis. Feeder cattle prices were $2 to $4 higher for the week. Calves and slaughter cows were quoted at mostly steady prices, and boxed beef prices were sharply higher this week, gaining support from last week's reduced production and the start of spring demand. Corn prices moved lower early this week as planting progress continues throughout the Corn Belt at a historically fast pace. The USDA released its monthly cattle on feed report this week. April 1 cattle on feed numbers were reported at 102% of 2011. Industry estimates were at 102%. March placements came in at 94%, while trade expectations were at 92.3%. Fed cattle marketings for the last month were at 96%, while industry analysts anticipated 94.5%. Looking ahead, expect fed cattle trade to develop in the South next week at around $122, with a widening premium relative to cattle in the North. Fundamentals still suggest lower prices are likely over the next few weeks. Fed cattle supplies will likely peak around midsummer, adding pressure to fed cattle prices. However, a higher beef complex this week has provided relief to packer margins, and wholesale cuts are expected to trade at advanced prices again next week. Feeder cattle prices have benefited from the better demand in recent weeks. Higher deferred live cattle futures and lower corn futures prices have provided some price support. Feeder cow prices will likely be steady next week. Demand for calves has weakened seasonally, and prices should remain steady as well. Wholesale beef prices were supported by last week's reduced production and continued interest for spring and summer grilling season. The correction put an end to a $20 decline from late February highs. Tighter boxed beef inventories will continue to support prices, and additional demand should lead to steady to higher cutout values over the next few weeks. Choice boxes are expected to sell from $176 to $180, with select boxes trading about $2 less. Corn prices will likely continue to trade near the lower end of the established price range. Expect prices to remain closer to $6 per bushel next week. Thanks for watching, and remember to visit CattleFax.com to become a member and receive the latest market news and analysis.
The beef business has never been for the faint of heart. For more than 40 years, CattleFax has led the way. We're the time-proven leader in research, analysis, and information, equipped with the industry's most powerful database. Become a member at CattleFax.com.